Alright, and they're just loading, and you're up
Oh,
on.
yeah, we're live. Hello
Yo.
everyone. I'm Prasco, and I'm gonna be running the Jedi Outcast. Covert Muffin is gonna be co-commentating with me.
Hey guys, what's up?
Fortunately, we don't have Mysteries of the Sith, because a certain person didn't submit a run.
Yeah.
Not gonna call out anyone, but Alright, just to quickly, this run is gonna be pretty fast. It's long, but it's gonna be pretty fast. This game is built on the Quake 3 engine, so the way we go fast is by jumping. And as soon as the run starts, we're gonna start jumping, and we won't stop until the end. We'll try and explain it a bit later. Some of the details, I suppose. And for now...
Yeah, these next two runs you see are going to be pretty fast-paced, so we'll try and keep up.
Alright, the timing starts when I break this cutscene, so I'm gonna give a countdown now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool. Yeah, so in the beginning of this level, we're going to be jumping up here, and this allows us to aggro an Imperial officer so Jan doesn't die. And then crouch climbing through this window upcoming here is going to allow us to actually skip a large part of the level. And a lot of these tricks are possible because we're able to move really fast, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game. So the way we do that is through a mechanic known as strafe jumping, which is very common in sort of Quake engine games. It's kind of similar to bunny hopping, but what we'll be doing is moving at a diagonal and then turning into that diagonal. And because we only decelerate while we're walking on the ground, we're able to continuously go back into the air and build more and more speed. And because in Outcast we can jump wherever we want and continue to build speed, it's going to allow us to move really, really fast. And so as we see Prask moving through this entire speed run, it's going to get pretty insane because the Outcast features levels of like really compact hallways with just tons of enemies everywhere. And so in these initial 4, 5, 6 missions, we're only going to be showcasing gun weapons because this is shots fired after all, and we want to be able to shoot as many shots as possible. But also we don't get our lightsaber back until later because Kyle at the end of Dark Forces 2 ends up surrendering his lightsaber to Luke Skywalker for having been tempted to fall to the dark side. And so it isn't until Gasp, our waifu, gets kidnapped later on where we will actually seek out our force powers and lightsaber again. This also allows us to showcase off a lot of really interesting movement in the beginning, because we don't have things like force jump to be able to jump really high, or seeker drones and stuff, as we'll be showcasing later in the run.
Yeah. So this is the second level is about to end soon. Right now I'm gonna control this little Imperial droid thingy.
Yeah.
Because I gotta activate a certain switch to disable this, some kind of deadly gas. And then we're gonna be moving on to the next planet. Okay.
Boom. Yeah, the next level is going to be really interesting because we're going to be working off of something known as a global timer. So basically, right at the start of the mission, you'll notice that there is an internal timer with the level. And so as we're going through the level...
Oh, I actually don't have the internal timer
yeah, that's okay.
up on the screen right now.
So every second that goes by, there's actually a sequence of cycles that is going on in the mission with some mine carts. And what we're going to be doing is doing this crazy jump here as we're going through, and then to catch a mine cart on a cycle that's a little bit convenient for us, because it's going to allow us to skip having to board the mine cart in an earlier section. And because the mine carts move really slow, we want to jump on them at this point to be able to not have to ride them for very long.
Yeah, right now I jumped on it. Now we're gonna have a quick jumping sequence through one of these mines. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so these mines are pretty awesome because you can sort of choreograph your movement, because the spawning points of all of these cave bugs is always going to be the same, and they usually, like, almost always aggro in the same direction. A lot of the RNG in this game, it seems like it can come down to like enemy movement and stuff, but if you move like really cleanly and continue to build and carry your speed and just have really good footwork in general, you're able to like jump past a lot of them.
It's really skill skip right now. We jump onto this little... use a ramp to catch an elevator cycle. Once again, catching a quick cycle. That saves about 6 to 7 seconds. It's a pretty difficult skip and really cool too. I had to kill all of the enemies in this area to activate this switch.
Yeah,
so,
he made that skip really easy, and it wasn't.
Another skip coming up is this quick save, quick load buffer. That's what I meant when the game gets really fast paced at some moments. So I made a quick save and a quick load at a ramp. And during that quick save, quick load, I can buffer up movement. For whatever reason, that movement is good enough to climb up that ramp. I can get to the level ending early.
Yeah, whenever you quick load, there's like a buffer region at the end. And it gives you some like weird acceleration properties. It's pretty bizarre. It just so happens to be useful there. But upcoming here, we're going to see some really awesome movement coming up these staircases, where if you progressively press your jump button and sort of a faster repetition of sequences, it's going to allow you to continue to carry your speed and move even faster up the staircases. So it's like insanely hard to do it, but like when you nail that movement, there's like no better feeling of the speed. I love that. Oh,
yeah,
so
but it's
good.
really difficult.
It's so hard. It's so hard. So here in this level also, Outcast features a bit sort of longer of levels, duration of levels, because there's just kind of more things to do, and the levels are more expansive as well. But also, as we're sort of moving through, you might see us engaging some stormtroopers, and the way we'll end up killing them is either using explosives, or we'll be shooting them in the knees, which is known as Skyrim strats.
Right now I'm in one of these sequences where I speak to one of the friendly prisoners. We're in some kind of a prison.
Yeah.
And he actually had some dialogue, but I did a quick save and a quick load, which skips all dialogues as soon as he started talking. Oh, right here is a minor like time save. I'm supposed to descend down this tube that has a fan at the bottom. The fan should slower our descent, but I didn't activate it because that's slow. Instead, I'm gonna use these portable health packs called Back to Tanks I collected earlier. Now we have another jumping section through these long mines.
Yeah, and so what Presk is going to be showcasing off a lot is a really cool mechanic in the game, which is known as an extended inventory. And so basically this means that certain things that you pick up in levels are going to carry between every single level. So back to tanks are going to be one of these, and then also seeker drones. So we'll be picking up seeker drones in places that cost us the least amount of time. And then we'll be using them in really awesome locations. And so there he was able to collect enough Bactas to be able to heal up in order to mitigate fall damage earlier, and we'll see a bit more use from Bactas in future levels as well. So coming here is going to be sort of the first auto-scroller-ish portion of the game where we're babysitting this Imperial officer. And Prask had killed off some of these enemies a little bit earlier on in order to potentially mitigate some RNG, because as we're walking with this Imperial officer, we have to keep line of sight of him and our cursor trained on him for the entire duration. Otherwise, he'll stop walking. So there isn't really too many ways we can speed up these sections, but there's definitely tons of ways we can slow it down. But up at the top, it's very important that this Imperial officer doesn't take any damage, because what we'll be doing is using a trip mine in order to boost him after he rounds sort of a checkpoint in order to get him to the final switch a little bit quicker. And also, as Prask is working through this area trying to aggro stormtroopers at certain times, when the Imperial officer reaches the top...
Yeah, I did it well.
Like,
he didn't really get blocked at all.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really easy to mess up. And sometimes he's just unlucky. But there also, Prask did a dialogue skip to open the door a little bit quicker and killed off the critters, as you saw.
Now I'm gonna, for this last stretch, I'm gonna use one of my landmines, or whatever, trip mines, to boost the Imperial to the switch. You can only do that once, because the Imperial officer doesn't have enough health to survive any other damage boosts.
Yeah.
That place is potentially the most efficient one to boost him at, but I messed it up a bit. Because you can get a quick, like a quick stand-up animation if you boost him correctly.
Yeah, if you get him like right on that spot where he activates the switch, he'll actually stand up like a second or so faster. It saves a good bit of time, but that's like still really good time save overall.
This is our shooters section. Gotta shoot a bunch of stormtroopers. It's really fun.
Yeah, this is for you, Shaddix and Trox, and all you shots fired enthusiasts. So, really interesting aspect of this level too is that it's like really easy to get out of bounds, right?
Yeah, like there's places where you can climb up and basically do things out of order. Most of the times the level just kind of flocks up. Haven't really been able to find any good skips in this level. Oh god, I messed up the movement.
Yeah, it's like the final cutscene of the level doesn't end until you like literally activate the final objective, which is destroying these ion cannons, or as we call nipple cannons. Not because they look like nipples or anything.
Not at all.
No. Why would we meme like that? Oh man. Yeah, and so as Prask mentioned, just killing off some stormtroopers here, not because we necessarily have to, but we're going to be trying to stay on a bit lower health as we're going to be finishing the level. So he's going to be trying to keep his health relatively low, enough to not die, but also in the final cutscene, it's going to be important that we enter with really low health. You'll see that. Because this is going to be our first real interjection of actual compelling story that was developed by Raven Software, which is going to be following Kyle Katarn as he goes on an epic fetch quest to save his waifu from the overgrown Awakening monkey lizard.
Thrilling revenge story from Raven Software.
Brought tears to my eyes.
Say it's a Star Wars story.
Even more compelling than Anakin's dialogue with Padme about sand.
True.
Yeah. Anyways, so Dazan kidnapped our waifu there. So we're back to Yavin Temple, where we're going to be confronting Luke Skywalker and demanding our lightsaber back, only to find that Luke Skywalker, of course, being the Jedi he is, putting our lightsaber behind a bunch of Force trials in the next mission.
Did a little glitch there. I'm gonna explain it more in detail in the level after the next one. Cutscene entering.
Yeah. And that basically was just to keep them from spawning from a further point. And that saves like a second or two or three.
It's not very clear what it does here. In the next level it's gonna be pretty obvious what it does.
Yeah.
Pointed out there.
Yeah, so this is going to be one of the more impressive levels we're going to see out of Prask, because this level is really difficult to do fast.
Often I messed up the
panel?
How does it go?
It goes 2, 3, 5 last.
2, 3.
Yeah, so 4. You have to.
That wasn't too bad.
Good times, dude. Only in a marathon, right? I fucking love this stuff.
Good time.
Oh man. Yeah, so upcoming here we have Force Push, and we're going to be collecting Force Pull to do these panels, and then we're going to get Force Speed. Normally after this we're supposed to get Force Jump. However, the game sort of tantalizes your lightsaber in front of you. But there's a really quick way to get it before the lightsaber is able to raise out of reach. And it's all because we're able to build a bunch of speed and land on a pixelated ledge. So I'm going to let Prask concentrate as he does this.
Yeah, this is really hard skip. With the hardest in the game. So bear with me. Okay, I got something. This might work. Yeah, got it.
Yo, nice, dude. That's insanely difficult. So what Press is doing here is he's standing on a pixelated ledge, which for some reason the cage doesn't take up the full platform, and so because of this we're able to walk a little bit further away because the cage is not attached to it. The cage continues to rise while the platform stays in place, able to get the lightsaber, and it raises us to the final room of the level. Easy peasy.
So right on this level, when we talk to this bartender over there, that's me by the way, we're gonna do that cutscene entering glitch. So the way we do that, it's basically think of it as refreshing the... Oh, sorry, I think my voice just lagged out right there a bit.
No, it's fine.
It's fine? Okay. You can explain it, Muff.
Yeah, sure. So while we're in this cutscene, we actually get our force powers back, because usually they're locked at the beginning of this level, so we're trying to be stealthy and stuff. Then jumping on that Rodian's head there, as you saw Prask do, gets us a little extra height, and it allows us to jump out. Then doing a crazy jump sequence to get over there, you're able to skip a good portion of the level as well. And then finally, up above, we're going to do another really insane jump chain that's insanely difficult right after those two difficult portions in order to jump over onto the dumpster. And that's going to be the final place that we're supposed to get on the level.
Ah, dang.
Yeah, this is really hard.
Alright, got it on the third try, which is still okay.
Nice, dude. Yeah, this jump is like, that jump is like pretty insane. There are some like really crazy variants of it too. And it does save like a good amount of time overall, but like the significantly easier variants will only cost you like a second or two or three.
Oh yeah, and for the people that are not familiar with this game, you could freely switch between first and third person at any point. But I prefer to run in first person almost all the time. So if you're fans of third person, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty big skip, throwing a lightsaber through that tiny hole.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's like one of the less glamorous skips, but it's one of the ones that saves like a boatload of time, and it skips a good portion of the level. So coming in here, we were introduced to our good friend Lando, that we'll be seeing a lot of in the next couple levels. And basically he got himself jailed up, and we just so happened to run into him as Frost showed off another skip. Because we were trying to track down information about our waifu. So, upcoming here, Prask is going to enter another cutscene. This makes just the fight a lot easier. And then there's going to be an added effect where at the end of the cutscene, it actually teleports you to a new location. So by entering the cutscene and finishing off all these objectives ahead of time and opening up the elevator, it actually just spawns us back to where the elevator is at the end of the cutscene. And so if you can time everything out really, really well and really precisely, we're able to pick up a little bit of extra gear. That makes the next couple levels a little bit more forgiving and easier. And then it also saves a little bit of time as well, so you don't have to backtrack down to the elevator.
It's a bit difficult to put all of this in words, right?
Yeah, it's insane. There's so much. It's so good.
And right here, before we finish the level, I'm gonna grab a Seeker drone. We're gonna use those later.
Oh, baby, foreshadowing. Shout out to
Lando.
Vrindar, the Seeker God himself. Here we go.
Yeah, this is our friend Lando. He's not gonna speak much though.
Mon bébé. It's my favorite Lando voice line. Yeah. So on this level, there's going to be some really crazy stuff you're going to see. The first one is going to be something known as Luck Fando, where we're going to intentionally sort of jump around some triggers in order to get all of these waves of minions that we have to clear to spawn on the same side. And usually once Prask gets to the hangar, you'll see that they're supposed to spawn on either side of this gigantic ship. And you're supposed to backtrack back and forth to kill each wave. And then the next ones don't spawn after like a certain number of, or a timer expires. and it just like takes forever. But because we found that this is a trigger-based thing, we're just able to jump above the first trigger, and then for the second one, we just have to stay outside, and it will spawn the final wave the same side. But we'll see what ends up happening. We can get some good or bad RNG from Lando here to save or cost a few seconds. It's like one of the few showcases of our actual RNG in this game too. It's interesting.
Oh. Well, Lando is going left, but I'm just gonna stand where I usually do on the middle of the ship.
Yeah,
this is like the safer strat. You manipulate the final wave of enemies to spawn at that end. You need to kill all of the enemies to be able to do everything the fastest way. There's a lot of objectives you need to handle on this level. So there was a little thing I did earlier that you might not have noticed. Lando was supposed to have a bit of a dialogue with me, during which I wasn't able to move. But I stuck my saber into the wall, and the noise the saber makes when it's stuck into the wall overrides Lando's dialogue. So it's actually shorter. And we're gonna use that in a few places more.
Yeah, now that we have a lightsaber, that's going to be like the main way we're going to be skipping dialogue. Just as you saw earlier where we used quick save and quick load, lightsaber is going to be a much nicer.
Oh no! I messed it up. I didn't get to the wall.
Oh no!
I can use quick saves, quick loads anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh man.
Alright, now it's the end of this level. Just kill a couple of gangsters or aliens.
Yeah. So I hope that information that the gangster had wasn't important about our waifu.
Here we are on the next level. This is Bespin.
Yeah. Bespin's gonna be like one of those more relaxing levels. Oh wait, are you going for the Seeker God skip?
No.
Okay. Alright.
The Underseeker?
Yeah. That name is so good. In this level, it's going to be a lot of riding elevators and stuff in the beginning, and then it's going to also showcase off the other portion of RNG in the wind tunnel section up above. Basically, Prask, the important parts of this level, Prask picked up another TV there and got through a cycle really fast on the flamethrowers in the burner room a little bit earlier. And now he's going to be riding up this elevator and killing off a list of enemies in order to try and mitigate taking damage. Just for safety, it's not necessary, but it's just really nice having full health going through the rest of the level, because we're going to be throwing around explosives in tightly compact hallways with a lot of enemies around. It's very easy to actually burn out your health by accident.
And of course, the health carries through to all of the other levels, and you need that health.
Exactly, and like a lot of the levels are sort of grouped together by planet. And so when you go from on the same planet to a different level, you don't actually refill your health to 100 and reset your primary inventory. Of course, the extended inventory always carries through, both through planets and these additional levels on the planet. However, your health and stuff is actually a very valuable resource, and we'll see a good bit of that in the Cairn levels as well as Doom. Health is going to be a lot more important closer to the end of the game.
Alright, here we go to the wind tunnels. This is the other infamous RNG section of this run. So there's four of these wind gusts we need to catch. They're completely random. So as you can see, I just got all the three that I didn't need.
Wow.
3 above me where this happened before.
Rough.
Yeah, this is a really bad pattern.
Wow, dude! Oh, that's the worst.
This is literally the worst pattern you can imagine.
Nice. Yeah, so basically, what you saw Prask do though is if he was going for a PD or something, he quick saved in that tunnel leading up to this area. And so you just quick load over and over again to hit the trigger, which randomizes the cycles for the wind gusts. But up here is going to be the first epic confrontation of lightsaber on lightsaber combat. Good luck, Prask. Lightsaber combat in this game is insanely complex.
Yeah, it's so complex and difficult
and
layered, I have to say, and deep.
What are you doing? That's not a lightsaber. Oh. Okay. Well, yeah. Alright, so he's dead. But don't worry, guys. Upcoming here in the next...
There's another one. Oh, never mind.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So those guys just happen to die extremely fast. And lightsaber combat can be tricky, so it's just really nice that we don't have to worry about that, because Kyle Katarn is literally wielding explosive devices. But now Lando Calrissian has his brain got instead implemented into this droid here, so we're gonna have to babysit him a little bit as he gets familiar with his surroundings. Go get him, Lando.
Just gonna help him around a bit with force push.
Yeah.
So I gotta get into this hallway of trip mines. And thankfully I picked up a gun with a big splash radius just earlier, so I can easily destroy all of these trip mines. And push the droid through. Okay, I don't need him anymore. There's a cool skip coming up right now. Yeah, you can explain.
Yeah, this skip is insane. So what Prask is going to do is, every single time you start a force jump, it decides your maximum height. However, if you force pull an enemy up to meet you halfway, you can then start a new jump, which allows you to jump even higher.
Basically, a double jump, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. That was awesome. Getting that first try, too, was really... And now we're, like, technically out of bounds, right?
Technically, kind of.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back in really quickly, and we're gonna do our first little seeker climb. Get up here. Basically, we're kind of getting to the end of the level backwards. That's kind of what this feels like.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. But there you saw the first of a handful of Seeker drone skips. Basically what we do is we summon the Seeker under us as we're continuing to force jump upwards, then falling back down towards the Seeker drone allows us to continuously jump on it. Because it's always going to move in that circular pattern. Just sort of where it spawns and where it's going to initially move to are the random factors. But if you react fast enough, you can do it completely consistently better. And that one only required 2 jumps. We're going to see another one that requires 1 or 2 jumps, and then the last one is going to be really insane. So upcoming here, you notice Prask has blue style, or the fast style, and normally you're not supposed to have this at this point in the mission. However, right after he picked up the lightsaber, after lightsaber skip, during the dialogue sequence where Kyle's like, I have my lightsaber now, you can change to fast style.
Alright, we're coming up to the fight now. So this is a notoriously difficult boss fight. And there it is. So this was found by Muffin.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good strat.
Basically, I had done a bunch of like saber work for Academy, and then I found this one for Outcast, and they asked me to take a look. But upcoming here, Prask entered another cutscene. The reason for this is that because it frees him up from doing a bunch of aggro throughout it. And then after the cutscene ends, he's able to push a switch to open a hangar door and progress through the level. But that being said, we're going to showcase off a new trick that was actually recently found by a speedrunner named HotshotWire in our community, which we're pretty hype about.
Very cool skip. But I might mess it up because I'm not that well practiced with it. This is really awkward. Stop. Okay, I messed it up really bad. Let's try it again.
So he's trying. Yeah, so he's trying to get the stormtrooper over to a switch.
Okay, we got it now.
Nice.
Yeah, this is really cool. I love this, but I'm not that well practiced with it yet. It was literally found 2 days ago.
Yeah, so sometimes, like, we were talking about this before the stream, but NPCs can just randomly, well, kind of randomly, but they'll just interact with the doorway. So what Hotshot was like, well, what if I just push the stormtrooper to a door that we normally can't access from this side right now? And he did it, and it worked. And so, because of that, we're able to get through that section, and then go into this next Seeker Drone skip.
Yeah, alright, I just did that Seeker Drone skip too. Nice. Now I gotta catch this cycle. So basically, what that Seeker Drone skip did, and some movement I did earlier that I might not have noticed, it kind of manipulated this elevator cycle. So it kind of catches all the elevators in a really neat way, I guess. So yeah, it all works out very nicely with my health and force.
Yeah, those can be really tough and really unforgiving, and you did a really good job there. That was insane. It's always a place I'm scared of ripping runs.
Oh. Alright, I tried another pull skip to do here, but I messed it up.
Yeah, that one's probably like one of the hardest pull skips that you can possibly do. It's really, really tight timing.
It's not too bad with him. Oh. I messed it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. So like, through this level, health can be a little bit scary, so we're gonna see Krask do some rolls here and there. And what rolling does is it mitigates some falling. Of course, you're locked in that animation, so you like can't continue to build speed and such. But we might see Krask pick up some extra health as he's going through. And
yeah, I'm just playing it safe and picking up all the health that's on the way.
Yeah, it's really smart. Oh, excuse me. And then going through the rest of the level, there's going to be a lot of like droids and stuff that have really high accuracy and deal like 50 damage, like 40 to 50 damage or something a shot. It's like ridiculous. And then also just a bunch of enemies everywhere. And like for some reason, shotgun troopers have really high accuracy and can be very scary to work through.
We just made our way past Shia LaBeouf.
See a Shia LaBeouf? Yeah, now we only see Shia LaBeouf once. Because we skip him now. Because of the Karen Berry movement. That's funny. Oh man. Don't worry, we'll see Shia again.
Right here I gotta kill these two Dark Jedis here. That opens up a door. Now I gotta squeeze past this ATSD. Ooh, that was fast.
Nice, dude!
Got the fast movement faster.
Oh, it's so good!
And here we enter the next level.
Yes!
Yeah.
So this next level is probably one of my favorite levels, because it's going to showcase off a lot of really awesome movement and tricks going
so right
through
now we already just skipped the intended way of getting past this maze.
Yeah.
Using force speed and squeezing to this little hole.
Yeah, so as we sort of mentioned earlier, crouching can allow us to fit into small places. Just like on the first level where we use crouch there to be able to get through a tiny hole to skip a good portion of the level. It's really good. Oh. And then going through here, Krask is going to start being a little bit more careful about his force management as he goes through this really, really difficult movement. Because as you see, like these pink things are all one-hit kill, and so it's really tough to do some of these jumps.
Shoutouts to movement. Oh god, I almost got killed by the spinning thing.
Oh no! Yeah, each of those paddles is one-hit kill. But upcoming here are going to be two really hype skips. The first one is he's going to be jumping off of a robot's head in order to be able to catch a raising platform in time using force speed to slow down time.
Yeah, alright. I just got that one.
Nice! And then upcoming here is going to be probably the hypest Seeker Drone skip that skips like a minute to a minute and a half of the level.
Oh, I messed it up.
Oh,
I went so high up and then I missed the jump.
Oh no. Yeah, dude. Like, jumping on these Seeker drones is hard enough. You're like focusing so hard. But if you just skew your direction one way or the other a little bit more, then it makes like the jump over to the platform even more difficult.
I got it on the second try though. Oh, and here's another epic lightsaber battle. There's a boy right here waiting for me.
Careful, the armor is resistant to lightsaber attacks.
He's gone.
Oh, alright. Yeah, he's dead. So they're, by force pulling him like that, throwing him really high in the sky, it triggers the instant KO effect from fall damage for AIs. So if they think that they're falling to their death, they'll just automatically die the next thing they land on, and that's exactly what happened there.
Up is the sort of stealth section. I am being a bit stealthy. I'm using Mind Trick on a couple of enemies, particular enemies right here. So what makes this a stealth level, I suppose, is the fact that enemies now have the option to, if they spot you, they might run for a like an alarm trigger in the level. So I Mind Trick particular a couple of particular enemies that are a problem if they spot me, or have a higher chance of spotting me.
Yeah, there are way more enemies than he mind tricks, but the nice thing too is that like they run off of a priority system. So as long as you mind trick that Imperial officer,
Yeah.
They won't actually activate the alarm even if they see you, which is really cool.
And I might trick the guy on top of the bridge because he's a bit of a pain to deal with sometimes.
Yeah. So through this level, basically what it's going to come down to is just trying to work through a lot of the intended ways as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Outcast sort of has these longer levels that require a lot of technical precision in many different ways. And so, like for example, as you saw him force pull those droids to have to walk less distance with a slow droid. And there's a lot of these really crazy optimizations that Brask is just making look absolutely easy, but a lot of them are a little bit more difficult than this. For sure.
Oh no, I got through the droid hallway. I didn't I didn't take damage.
Oh no!
That's very unfortunate. Sorry about that.
Mission corridor. Don't do drugs, please.
So in that hallway there are a bunch of these droids with sticky with their needle.
Yeah, the interrogation.
Basically, you know, dealers. Yeah, give you some drugs.
Yeah, they're trying. The way the Empire is trying to slow down Kyle is by turning him into a junkie. So in this train, there's actually no way to speed up that sequence. It's a pure auto-scroller. The moment you activate the train, it's on a set timer until the door on the other side opens. There's some like really silly stuff you can do to get into the train hallway, but actually always will lose you time because it's on a set timer. It's pretty funny. And then upcoming here, we actually have to make a phone call out to our waifu. The only way to do this on a ship is, of course, interspace communications has come really far in the past millennia. And the way we have to do this is by going around and hitting a very specific combination of these panels here by force jumping all over the place. So every single time the stormtroopers need to communicate with another Star Destroyer or something, they have to do this.
That's how things work when, you know, a long time ago, galaxy or far away.
Oh man. So here we're gonna ask the stormtroopers also to give us a little bit of privacy.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of stormtroopers in this room, but once I hit the switch, we've cutscenes and they're all gone. and the blah blah blah, of course.
I love that. I can't get past how funny it is that they just all despawn, man. It's so ridiculous. Awesome. So upcoming in the next level, we're going to be showcasing off a really crazy trick called Spaceman. And so basically, because Kyle is wearing his cloth pants here, we're going to be trying to venture into the outer reaches of outer space and hopefully not die from asphyxiation. But I think you're wearing cloth pants, right, Brask? So I think you should be okay.
I have resistance to vacuum.
Yeah. But all these stormtroopers with their high power seats just die instantaneously. Oh,
yeah, that's probably my favorite skip in the game. That one is particularly funny.
Yeah, that one's so awesome. So basically when the hangar doors are open, they pull you through and into an instant death trigger. But for some reason if you crouch...
Holy shit.
Oh god, oh no.
The Rocket Man.
Rocket Man, why? Oh god. Yeah, so they pull you into a vacuum of space. But if you crouch and move in the opposite direction, this slows you down enough to be able to land on the edge before the instant death plane. And then you can force jump over and get through the closing door just in time. And then when the door closes, of course, it doesn't suck you out into outer space. But upcoming here is going to be a very moving cutscene where we are going to be reunited with our waifu. But we're going to do something a little bit special with this and skip a switch puzzle by entering the cutscene.
Yeah, switch puzzle is right here. I'm passing through it right now. Now I'm gonna activate this cutscene. Kind of start skipping the cutscene, which basically speeds up the cutscene, and then I enter it. That village we talked about earlier. So I can move around. And the doors are open. These doors should be closed right now.
Yep, and then when the cutscene ends, what's going to end up happening is the end trigger becomes active in the mission, and Press is going to be able to walk into it.
You don't actually need to bring Jan to the end trigger.
Yeah, so the next level is going to go insanely fast, so don't look away. What's going to end up happening is Press has one more secret drone, but we're not going to be jumping on it. What we're going to do is spawn on the other side of the door here, and into the end trigger of the mission, because for some reason, NPCs, as well as Kyle, can actually end the level by touching that trigger. And so that skips like minutes, just because we can spawn a secret drone on the other side of the door. It's pretty crazy. So here in Yavin Swamp, this is actually one of the more technical levels, movement-wise, purely because every single time you hit a slope, it actually sort of redirects your momentum. So in order to continue to build speed, you end up needing to sort of try and hit forward-facing slopes or neutral slopes that won't slow you down. And so as we see Prask move through here, he's going to be trying to jump on as many locations as possible to be able to keep his speed up, as well as not run out of force. So it makes this level really, really difficult to move through.
So this wasn't perfect, but it was good enough.
Nice, dude.
I'm gonna do the little skip at the end.
Oh, nice, you're going for it?
Yeah, which isn't actually saving for me time for me now, because I messed up my force management, but here it is.
Oh, no, okay.
It's a little out of bounds. I slide onto these rocks and get to the end of the level.
It's so good.
Yeah, to actually save time with that, you need really good force management.
Yeah, it's crazy. So in this level, this is sort of what Academy looks like in terms of movement, where you're just trying to land on very specific locations and continue to have a jump chain that goes through a level. And we'll sort of explain that more in the next run, which will be Academy. But in this one, force management is also insanely important, because as you're jumping through, it's easy to force jump. And then at the very end of the level, it's actually a vertical portion where you have to force jump in order to get up to it.
Alright, that was decent.
Good job. Yeah, nice, man. That was really good Yavin Canyon. Yeah, so upcoming here are going to be the final two levels. These are only going to be taking about a minute and a half of your time, maybe a little bit less. But basically, as he's going through this level, he's going to be trying to kill off some Jedis.
Oh dear, I'm almost dead.
Oh no.
This was what actual saber combat looks like.
Yeah. It's so tough, because if they get like one hit off of you, you can just get like perma-stunned.
Yeah.
And it's a huge problem. But Press did a nice job of cleaning that up. And there's going to be some safety health he can pick up near the end of the mission if he so chooses.
And one more cutscene entering glitch for the end. This one we just get a glimpse of the sun escaping through some kind of a hole in the floor, but we can enter that cutscene and just get in before him.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, one thing about this game is that when they leave like end triggers just active for the entire level, we usually find some way to get to them a little bit quicker. Upcoming here, Press is showing a Vino boost, which you saw where he just gained a bunch of speed in order to skip through some fireballs really fast. And then upcoming here is going to be a push puzzle to get some blocks moving to open up the way to the final boss. And the final boss is going to go insanely fast, so get ready.
The time is coming up. Time.
GG.
GG.
Your time was a... Oh, I don't know. The stream's not caught up yet. Something or another. Nice, dude.
What was the time?
I'm looking. Looks like a 43:23.
All right.
24. Nice, dude.
That's good. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid marathon time.
All right, everyone. That was Jedi Outcast. Hope you all enjoyed. And coming up is the last game in the Jedi Knight series, which with Muffin right here. Be running that, and he's gonna be co-commentated by Sujiki. Stick around for that. See ya.